We're going to go through some points today that hopefully will help you enroll smoothly, that will make you feel more confident about your learning journey, because we're going to get it right at the start. So the first thing I've got up here on my list of things to talk about, which might seem rather obvious, is thinking about what do you want to study and why. Let me just flick this through. You don't get to see some amazing thing. Oh, script ahead here. You don't get to see anything amazing beyond my head. So I want to just talk about what you want to study and why, because before you enroll, we want to make sure that you've chosen something that you're super happy with. And to give you an example, sometimes we have people come in to see us and we have a bit of a conversation and they've got an idea in their head, yeah, I want to do this particular program, I think this is going to be a right fit for me. But as we have a bit of a discussion about what really motivates them and what they're really passionate about, we learn that, well, this program could be good, but there's another program over here that might suit your learning style better. As an example, some people might be looking at a taught program, and then when we have a bit of a chat, it actually turns out that perhaps a research program might be better for them. So what I mean by that is something where they get an opportunity to complete a major research project and really contribute in a way that generates new knowledge, whereas other people might not be so keen on that. They might be a bit scary, so they might do something that's more structured. And then sometimes we have people come in and have a talk about their career aspirations, and then we discover, hey, you know what? Much as we would love it if everybody came and joined us here in this amazing Wellington School of Business and Government, you actually might be better off going to one of our other faculties or one of our schools, because I think they've got something that might resonate with you and help you get to where you want to go, and something might align with your passions. So I guess the key message here is, yeah, sure, you've got some ideas about what you want to study, but think about the why, think about what it is that motivates you, and please reach out to us and come in and see us if you want to have a chat, so we can help you drill down and feel confident in your decision. So think about what you want to study and why. All right, next point here, planning your degree, which kind of obvious, right? One of the things that we see here all the time is, because we're dealing with what I would describe as a really successful audience of people, they're really driven, they've got supersonic career ideas. Most of the people who come in here are either new grads who are high achievers and super motivated, or amazing international students that are still with us, thankfully, or people who've got really established careers, and they're very driven to go, oh, you know what, I know it says that I can do this degree in 4 years part-time, but I'm going to do it in 1 year full-time while I'm doing all these other things at the same time. And here is my advice to you. You don't need to get all anxious and stressed out about smashing out your degree in the shortest amounts of time possible. You need to plan your degree in a way that is realistic, that is going to allow you to work professionally and enjoy it, and balance the realities of family life and relationship life, or if you're me, creates lots of time to go surfing, whatever it might be. So that's what I want to convey to you with planning your degree. Think about how many courses you are in actual fact going to be doing. There's nothing wrong with doing one course to start off and get a handle on what this experience will be like. It's dead easy to add in extra courses later on. So that's what I mean by planning your degree. And then a little bit of advice as well. We get asked all the time, okay, well, I'm interested in, organising my study around work. Where can I find the timetable? If you have a look at our degree information online and you click on an individual course, you can access the timetable, and this will help you plan your degree and manage your workload. The example that I've got in front of me here is actually from the Master of Public Policy. This is one of the public policy courses, and we can see here there are 3 blocks of teaching spread out across the trimester, and it stipulates when those blocks are, what dates they run, and we can see here they run from 8:30 till 5:30 and whereabouts they're located. That's a fairly typical block teaching format. For those of you doing an EMBA, you also have a similar block teaching format, except your blocks run on Fridays and Saturdays. I guess the takeaway here is, have a look at when the classes run, think about your workload, and don't go crazy on loading yourself up with courses, because that could be your undoing later on, and we want to make sure that you're successful and that you're happy, healthy, and wealthy during this program. How was that for sage advice? So the next thing is your online application. Now you'd think online applications are easy. Oh, I've got some notes here to remind myself of things to tell you. You know, the online application is not necessarily super intuitive, and it's got some language which is kind of confusing. I would recommend doing your online application in a quiet space. You don't want to be in a room with a dog and kids and chaos. Equally, you don't want to be at work with people coming to you with problems. You want to be in a nice quiet space so you can work your way through it. It does ask you to provide things. A couple of little tips here. Towards the end of the online application, you are going to need to upload a recent passport photo. So make sure you've got some kind of glamorous headshot ready that's passport compliant. They're going to use this for your student ID, so have that at the ready. You may need to have a digital copy of your academic transcript ready as well to upload. And of course, you'll need to provide the original for your academic transcript later on, depending on what program you're applying for. You're also going to need to have a CV, and in some instances, you're also going to need to have a reference. And I'm going to revisit this point. I guess the key takeaway here is make sure you've got all of that stuff ready and that you're happy with it, because you're going to need to have it when you do the online enrollment application. So choosing your programs and choosing your program and courses. I talked about making sure that you choose the right program. You want to make sure you've got the best fit for you, that aligns with who you are and your career aspirations, and that is something that's going to motivate you. And then of course you've got to choose courses within your program, so people get a little bit anxious going, oh, well, you know, I've chosen these courses for the year, can I change them? Yes, you can. It's pretty straightforward. There's an add and drop course function when you're given your student login, because you can access your own program to add courses and drop them. So maybe you've got an idea now about what courses or papers you think you're going to be doing through the course of the year. As I said earlier, some people might be going, oh, I'm going to do 3 here, and 5 here, and 10 here. Very easy to change them through the course of the year. Very easy to reduce your workload if you have to. Or conversely, bump it up if you're feeling more confident and you want to do some extra courses. Or perhaps you're looking at a particular area where you thought you were going to specialise in X or Y, and you've actually had a little delve in and you're like, hey, you know what, that actually hasn't worked out for me, I think I'll change it. Very straightforward to do. Don't be anxious about that at all. Choosing your program, make sure it's the right one, changing your courses, that's pretty straightforward. Admission types. Little word on admission types. Most of our students will come to us through the following pathways. Actually, I'll get this little screen up here because it explains it a little bit better. There we go. Towards the end of your application, you're going to get to this stage and it says, what admission category are you? So we've got 2 general streams of admission for our students. The first one, I'll just point the little arrow here, is special admission. So that applies to people who have obviously been working and they've been very successful in driving forwards their career, and perhaps they didn't need to do any previous university study. There was no requirement for it. But now they're applying for a program where the admission requirement is, hey, we need you to have an undergrad degree. But if you don't, what happens? Well, what happens is this. You apply via special admission, and then our academic program leader for each program, whether it's the EMBA academic program leader or our government program academic program leader, whatever it might be, will look at your supporting documentation, your CV, and make a determination of how we can make sure you can come in as a special admission student. Very straightforward process, very common pathway. Don't be too concerned about that. Now, if you've already got an undergrad degree, you would not apply for special admission. So don't tick special admission if you've already got an undergrad degree. You would go for the second kind of pathway into our programs, which is qualification assessment. Here it is here, above entrance level. Qualification assessment above entrance level, and you will need to provide your academic transcript, an original copy of it. And this is where we're going. The entrance requirement most commonly for all of our programs when you're doing a postgrad qualification is you've already completed an undergrad qualification of some description. This will apply to you. So those are the 2 pathways you need to consider. Make sure you choose the right one. Supporting documents, let's have a bit of a word about that. As I alluded to, you need to have those supporting documents ready. Let me just get this screen up here for you. Here we go. As you proceed through the Oh, the timer went off. Oh my God, I'm going over 10 minutes. That's okay. Let's go to 12. No one will know. Can you hear that beeping? It's rather annoying, isn't it? Oh. There we go. Got rid of that. Additional information. You'll get to the additional information screen, and I've used the government programs here. We're going to get to this, and it's going to say School of Government Programs. Please upload your CV showing your experience relevant to this program. So this is where you need to have your CV at the ready. And this is what I mean by making sure you're prepared before you do your online enrolment, because you want to have a current CV that really conveys your strengths and the relevance of your experience and all of the awesome things that you're going to bring when you join the learning cohort. So you want to make sure that it's right. Anyone who hasn't updated their CV for a while, I use Canva, C-A-N-V-A, canva.com. They've got some great templates there. It doesn't cost anything. It's really intuitive. If an idiot like me can use it, anyone can use it. I'd recommend to use it if you want to just upgrade your CV a little bit. You're going to have to upload your CV. In the case of the government programs as well, they're asking you there, you can see their School of Government reference form, so you've got to print that off and get your employer to fill it out. So this is an example of supporting documentation. Make sure you've got it ready and you want it to convey the very best of you. Okay, quick word on payment. This is pretty straightforward. We get asked all the time, okay, well, will I be able to get a student loan if I'm doing a couple of courses for, let's say, the Master of Professional Business, an example, and of course you can, but there is a minimum points requirement. The minimum points requirement to get a student loan for our courses is you'd need to be doing a 30 points. So that could be 2 15-point courses in trimester 1, or it could be 1 15-point course in trimester 1 and then another in trimester 2. So just make sure you've got that kind of sorted. So when you're dealing with StudyLink, they're not going to be saying to you, hey, you've only enrolled in one course, we're not going to be able to give you a student loan. That would be a hassle. So there again, 15 points in one trimester, 15 points in another, or 30 points in one trimester. That should get you covered for your student loan. Also, because we have a lot of mature students coming to us who may not have done any study before, make sure you check out the fees-free scheme, because loads of students that I've been dealing with have been eligible for this, and in some instances they've got enough money to cover the certificate stage and the staircasing option towards many of our master's programs. So if in doubt, find out. Plenty of students have managed to access this, and in some instances, even students who've done this little bit of study a long time ago have still been able to get a little bit of money towards their new study goals and objectives. So fees free, just Google that, you get straight through to the page that you need to channel your inquiry to. Make sure you find out. If you don't ask, you'll never know, right? Then finally, here, new to study. What do I mean by that? Let me get through to this little screen here. No, let's go through to this one. This is where it's super useful. Loads of you may be getting ready to enroll, and perhaps you haven't studied for a while. Maybe you studied quite a long time ago. Maybe you've never studied before. I would suggest looking at our student learning page. I just put it up here. You can just Google student learning and away you go to access this material. But they've got some great webinars, fantastic resources, writing guides, all kinds of things that you can access before you get started. Another great tip that I would suggest is we have amazing libraries at Victoria University, and you will need to use these resources in terms of producing a breadth of research-related work for many of your courses. So I would suggest finding out about how our libraries work. You'll be able to do this as part of the orientation process, but it's something you need to have on your list of things to do before you start. Finding out how our libraries work, how to use the academic databases, really super useful when it comes to producing really in-depth, quality, well-researched work that's going to contribute to your success as part of whatever program it is that you do. So, total train wreck as far as getting that done in 10 minutes, but hey, you got to see this face and listen to my voice for a little bit longer, so that is a bonus. quickly going over some of those key messages. Think about what it is that you want to study and why, and if you're unsure, reach out to me, reach out to our team, and we can sit down and have a chat. That's no problem at all. Planning your degree, you don't need to go mad and overload everything. Get ready and be prepared to do your online application because it's going to ask you for these things. You want to have them on the ready. Don't overload yourself with your courses. It's going to be okay if you do one or two. It's not a race. You need to set yourself up in a way that's going to support your success. If you're the kind of person that can smash an entire degree out in 5 minutes, go mad. I support you and celebrate you. But don't think you have to. Think about your admission type. That point that I made was if you've already got a degree, you're not going to be ticking special admission. You're going to be ticking qualification assessment above entrance level. Have your supporting documents ready. You want your CV to be good. You want to have your reference at the ready if you need that for your particular program. Do investigate payment. You might be able to access some money. Remember that you need the 30 points minimum requirement to access student loan for your fees. And then, as I remarked at the end, if you're new to study, use some of Victoria's resources to get ready. And I think that will put you in good stead for academic success later on.